and why someone would take a life like they did.
I just can't believe what's happened to Crickette.
You've all got to pay for it.
We were all convinced that he did it.
I want you to look at my face.
Please turn yourself in.
You will all pay for it.
He was a monster then, and he's a monster now.
Deanna Cisneros sits inside her family home, 36 years after her sister went missing from Ladson, now acting as the only voice left for the Surell family.
It's hard. That's all I can say. This is very hard.
Crystal Surell, also known as Crickette, was only 13 years old and heading to Oak Brook Middle School on November 7th, 1990. But she never made it to class.
Police searched into the early morning hours, walking through the paths in this tangled wooded area behind the Oakmont subdivision. They were looking for any sign of 13-year-old Crickette Surell.
The next morning, police found Crickette half nude, underwear stuffed in her mouth, and stabbed 4 times in her neck.
She'd been suffocated and probably raped. Beside her body, a pentagram, a satanic symbol scratched in the dirt.
I hate to share this with the world, but he wanted to have sex with her. And she's 13. She didn't want to have anything to do with this boy. And he'd been looking at her prior, okay? And he just didn't like no.
Crickette's brutal murder rocked the entire Lowcountry, bringing 700 people to her funeral.
It shouldn't have been Crickette.
But the crowds eventually moved on, leaving a massive burden of grief haunting the Surell family.
It was awful. I mean, it was like yesterday for my parents. Over and over again, I seen both of them just wither away with it.
And years passed with Crickette's killer still roaming free, following sheriff after sheriff, including former Dorchester County Sheriff Ray Nash.
I mean, this case went on for a long time. It haunted 3 different sheriffs. It traumatized the community in a major way. There was just this fear that was permeating. Here we had a young girl, a brutal murder, and no suspect in custody. And so you can imagine being a parent of a child in this area during that time, everybody's just scared to death.
13 years later, an answer finally came. Bryan Lamb was charged with Crickette's murder. He was only 14 years old at the time of the crime. Another man, Eric Castro, was charged with withholding key information in the murder.
I'm just so thankful that these people are finally caught.
They took an angel out of this world, away from us, and somebody needs to pay for it.
Full penalty of the law should take place, and they should be convicted.
A year later, the trial began. The majority of the state's case relied on jailhouse informants, Crickette's watch found in Lamb's tent nearby the crime scene, blanket fibers, graffiti, and a potential murder weapon.
Each little piece, when you put it together, points toward him. But it's time now. It's time for justice.
Bryan said, they know we killed her.
Lamb's attorneys argued the jailhouse informants were not credible, and there was no DNA or blood directly connecting Lamb to the crime.
Reasonable doubt is smeared all over this case.
Just a few days later, on June 16th, 2004,
Indicted for
Lamb was found guilty of murdering Crickette Surell.
Verdict:
what he did to Crickette.
Guilty of murder.
This is really not a normal thing. And we've known that all these years. But justice was served today.
What went through your mind when the verdict came down?
That my child could rest in peace now.
There's certain cases you just pull at your heartstrings. This was one of those cases, and to know that it happened here, it was a terrible, terrible crime, but in the end, justice prevailed.
And even with Lamb behind bars, the heartbreak of losing their 13-year-old daughter never left the Surells.
But it was every day in this house. You got to understand. It was every day they lived that, trying to live without her. And my mom, she drank so much. And my dad, he watched her drink. It was horrible. And then he took his life.
As for Crickette, she doesn't feel any pain anymore. Just between me and the people that are responsible, I hope it's not long before you don't feel any pain.
I miss him so much.
With both of Deanna Cisneros' parents no longer here to speak for Crickette, the burden is placed on her to advocate for her sister's killer to remain behind bars.
And I know he wants it so bad to get out. But I can't bring back any of them. I can't bring back my mom, my dad, or my sister.
Bryan Lamb was charged in 2004 before life without parole was a sentencing option, which means now, after serving 20 years of his sentence, Lamb could be free.
Lamb was denied parole in 2024, but soon has a second chance to argue again for his freedom on April 22nd.
And I'm sitting here having to do this every 2 years to keep him there, and he should stay there. He was a monster then, and he's a monster now.
This is one of the few cases in my career, which has almost hit 50 years now, that I have actively opposed parole.
Even with decades between her murder, the 13-year-old cold case, and now Lamb's possible freedom, the life and death of Crickette Surell casts a constant shadow over the family. Her sister, now living in the Ladson home Crickette disappeared from on November 7th, 1990.
This house kind of brings it up every day for me.
Crickette's handwriting still etched, the only thing she left behind.
I just remember them feeling the way they felt. And I felt that every single time I came home. And it's all him, all of it. And if it wasn't for him, me and you wouldn't be sitting here, would we?
Bryan Lamb's parole hearing will be this Wednesday in Columbia. We'll be there live and bring you updates on whether Crickette Surell's murderer will be granted freedom. Finding the killer, the murder of Crickette Surell, is a Live 5 Investigates special that digs deeper into this case and the work that went on behind the scenes. It's now exclusively streaming on our platform Live 5 Plus. It's totally free. You can just search Live 5 on your Roku or any other streaming devices. For Live 5 Investigates, I'm Emily Johnson.